Hi students, welcome back. In the previous class, we completed the 5th chapter. Today we will start a new chapter from history, chapter 6, India, the land of synthesis. The information on medieval Indian culture could be obtained from different sources such as the autobiographies of the rulers, biographies, travelogues, chronicles and historical works. Students, in this chapter we are going to study about cultural synthesis of India during medieval period. It was an age of fusion of different cultures. New styles developed in literature, music, painting and sculpture during this period. Different religions came to India in different periods. This led to the formation of new ideas in the medieval period. As a result of the mutual influence of these ideas, the Bhakti and the Sufi movements emerged. Okay students, let's study about Sufi movement. The Sufis were those who showed reluctance to luxurious life and gave predominance to spiritual life. They came to India in the 11th century from Central Asia. The Sufis settled in different parts of India. They got many followers. They considered devotion as a means to reach close to God. They believed that one who really loves God will be close to God as well as the people around him. They preached to respect all human beings. Okay, next, let's see about Sufi saints. The Sufi saint was known as Pir or Sheikh. The Sufi followers is known as Murid. Kanha is the residence of the Sufis. These were the centers of the socio-cultural life of that period. Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti of Ajmer was one of the famous Sufi saints. He opined that reciting devotional songs is a way to get close to God. The devotional songs reciting in the Sufi centers are known as Qawwalis. Sheikh Nizamuddin Aulia was a Sufi saint who was respected by the rulers and the peoples. His center of activity was at Delhi. The Sufis helped to maintain relations among different religions during the Sultanate and Mughal periods. Next, we will learn about Bhakti movement. Bhakti aims at self-dedication to God. The ideas and activities that emerged in the medieval period. Ideas and activities are on the basis of devotion to God are known as Bhakti cult. The Bhakti movement became popular first in South India. Let's see the features of early Bhakti traditions. Its propagators were the saints who were Bhakti poets, challenged the conservative Brahmanic traditions, provided representation to the lower caste and women. They made contributions in the field of culture and music. Next, Alvas and Nayanas. The Bhakti movement emerged at first in Tamil Nadu. This movement was led by the Alvas and the Nayanas. The Alvas were the Vaishnavites and the Nayanas were Shaivites. They composed and propagated devotional songs. Both the Alvas and the Nayanas opposed caste inequalities. Among them, there were women saints also. The women saint Andal was one of the famous Vaishnavite saints. The saint Karaikal Ammayar was a Shaivite. Okay students, let's study about the Veerashaiva movement. The Veerashaiva movement was a popular movement emerged in Karnataka. The movement was held in the 12th century. As the Veerashaivas wore Shivalinga in the neck, they are known as the Lingayat. The leader of this movement was Basavanna. The Veerashaiva movement was against gender and caste discriminations. They were also Shaivites. Next, let's see the ideas of Veerashaiva movement. First one, they opposed caste system. Second one, they gave priority to gender equality. Third one, they promoted widow remarriage, interdining and adult marriage. Fourth one, questioned the doctrine of rebirth. Fifth one, they propagated the ideas of liberty and social justice. And the last one, they upheld the dignity of labor. Okay students, let's study about Anubhava Mandapam. The Anubhava Mandapam was a democratic platform that came into being in connection with the Lingayat in the 12th century. In the conference held at Anubhava Mandapam under the leadership of Basavanna. In the conference, people of irrespective caste, religion, gender, etc. were given entry and were allowed to participate in the discussions. This paved the way for the protest against social inequalities and also led to questioning on caste domination. Next, Basavanna on dignity of labor. Basavanna was the first to speak about the dignity of labor. Basavanna instructed every individual to accept a job and do it sincerely. He said that we can understand God through the duties we perform. He also reminded that every job of this world has its own greatness. Next, Vajana Sahityam. Vajana Sahityam is the literary form of Kannada language. It became famous in connection with the Veerashaiva movement, Basavanna, Allama Prabhu, Akka Mahadevi, etc. This made tremendous contributions to Vajana Sahityam. Through the Vajanas, Basavanna challenged the primacy of Vedas and also encouraged social reforms. The Vajana Sahityam helped in the progress of Kannada language. Okay students, let's summarize our today's topic. First, the features of early Bhakti traditions. Its propagators were the saints who were Bhakti poets. Challenged the conservative Brahmanic traditions. Provided representation to the lower caste and women. They rendered contributions in the field of culture and music. Next, the main ideas of Veerashaiva movement. Upheld the dignity of labor, opposed caste system, gave priority to gender equality, promoted widow remarriage, interdinings and adult marriage, questioned the doctrine of rebirth, and the last point, they propagated the ideas of liberty and social justice. Hope you all understood about today's topic. Thank you.